Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and today I have my new friend Babs Rambold, and she has a really amazing channel on YouTube. It's called Listen to Your Inner You, and Babs is a manifesting queen. She is all about the lifestyle of manifesting and actually taking the time to do the process of the inner work in order to manifest the life of your dreams. And I actually went to her recently for coaching. I was so blown away by her videos that I thought, I have to pick this girl's brain. I have to know what she thinks about so many different topics, particularly her more recent niche that she's been diving deeper into, which is coming to terms with core beliefs, healing core beliefs, and creating ideal and loving core beliefs, so that not only can you manifest the things you desire, but that you can keep your manifestations and continue to grow them. So that was something I discussed a lot with her. We'll probably touch on in this video as well. So I'm going to just be asking her some questions. I just wanted you guys to know just a few little things about Babs that I've learned. She loves the outdoors. She lives currently in Colorado. She is a real estate guru. She loves fixes and flips. She is an artist as well. She has a bachelor's degree in art. And she really likes to look at manifesting, like I said, as a long-term lifestyle. And I think the thing, Babs, that I love so much about your channel is that, and I know this from talking to you, is you just are very natural. You're very you. You're very open and authentic. And the truth is, I just find that so refreshing, because when you watch YouTube, you kind of fall in love with the people behind the camera and you're so interested in their philosophy. And then when you get to talk to them and you see that's just who they are, it's of course a different a side of who we are. We show different sides of ourselves in different videos, but she's just very relatable and her advice is very practical. So I think my viewers are really going to appreciate that. So Babs, I guess just start off kind of this little sort of video and interview and tell us a little bit about how you would describe your lifestyle today.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I'm really excited, and I'm so excited that you came into my life because we have been pretty much talking every day since, and I love it. We just hit it off. But my lifestyle is definitely manifesting. I live and breathe manifesting, although sometimes you want to take a break from certain subjects, right? Especially the bigger, the more breaks you need. But I love it, and sometimes it's hard to live it, because then you see the people around you that don't know how to manifest and they're bringing up personal issues. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, keep your mouth shut. Don't teach them how to manifest, because it's really exhausting to teach someone to manifest. That's why coaches in general are higher up there with the price ranges, but it's actually very exhausting to teach all your friends how to manifest. So I stopped doing that, and I just sit there and I listen to it and go back to normal human mode. But other than that, I live and breathe it.
Okay, barring technical difficulties, here we go, guys.
Retrograde.
All right. Okay, Babs. So just start off by letting everybody know how do you describe your lifestyle?
Absolutely manifesting. I am a huge manifesting fan. I live by it. I breathe by it. I sleep by it. I even dream about it. But you still have to integrate normal people lives, because you have all the people around you. Most people, there are more people now that are waking up to manifesting and that it actually works. But there are a lot of people who don't believe in it or have no experience with it, or they don't even know about it. So you have to still do the normal listening part and normal problem solving when your friends come to you, and then you just have to sit there and shut up and just think to yourself, I would love for her or him to learn all of what I know, but it's going to take 4 years of this. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just be normal.
Yeah, manifesting is, like you say, a lifestyle, and it's also it's a personal growth journey.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's all it's about. Is manifesting isn't really about getting your manifestation. It's actually about growing, because in order to get that manifestation, you have to do all that growing and changing, right? That's the whole
Yes,
point.
I think it draws all of us in originally is, I want this and that. I want love, I want money, I want this. But as you go through the journey and as you are becoming a better manifester, you're also seeing the change within you.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes addictive just for that in and of itself, because you become connected to yourself.
Yeah, it's the journey. It's not the end result. It's the actual journey that is the fulfilling and satisfying part. The desires are there and they inspire us to change, right? Usually it's a job, money, or a specific person that makes us want to change because we want all of that. But then we realize as we're doing that journey, hey, you know what? I'm a different person. I like myself so much better now. It's all about self-love and learning how to actually really love yourself and be good to yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I have to admit that is why I have fallen in love with manifesting, is
Yeah.
all of for reasons. So, I know, Babs, that you consider yourself like a woman's coach and, of course, a manifesting coach. But can you tell everybody more about what you do and how you do it?
Yes. So I haven't really had a lot of people that were beginning manifestors. Most of the people that have come to me, although I take all levels, for coaching, they know how to manifest. And in this community on YouTube, I don't know that you don't know how to not manifest, because there are millions of videos and coaches out there. So I think it's pretty quick that you can learn what it is about in general. And then they come to me, and then usually it's about a specific person. But since my niche right now is the core beliefs, people realize that they need to change something because they keep losing their manifestations, right? So they come to me and they already know that they want to change their core beliefs. So we're just working on that. And then whatever else comes with it, like detaching or resolving any resistance that comes up, just actual personal growth overall.
Mm. Guys, that's why I came to Babs. I was like, girl, I can manifest quick, sometimes seemingly overnight. But I kept losing my manifestations. It was like, a matter of time would go by and it would slip right through my fingers. And I found Babs because she was one of the only videos I ever came across that addressed that directly through core beliefs. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And usually when you find me, your subconscious kind of led my videos to you and vice versa, because law of attraction literally means what you want wants you. So what you desire desires you, right? So you attract each other. Um, so people find me because they're ready to change. It's not that they find me and they don't know how to deal with this or what to do with me. They know exactly what's wrong, and that's why I came up. And I love that part about the law of attraction. Just pops up.
Yeah, that's so true. So let's talk just a little bit about your journey of learning about detachment from something you truly want to desire and manifest. Can you tell the viewers a little bit more about detachment and kind of how you are learning to do it? What do you tell yourself when you're detaching?
Yes. So detaching is something that isn't talked about too much in the manifesting community. Right now, it seems to be really in to just assume that affirmations do everything, and which is the law of assumption, right? But in the law of attraction, there's so much to it. So when you look at it, you can look up the 12 universal laws, or 7, depending on which article you look at. I like the one with the 12 because I like to separate them, although we're all one. Pretty much they're all connected. And if you deal with the law of attraction, there's so much with it. There's the resistance work, then the belief that it is possible, and then visualizing and focus work. And then in the end, you want to detach, because if you don't detach, you can't get what you want. And if that's a limiting belief, please try to change it for all of us. I haven't been able to, so I just accept that I have to detach to get what I want, or you need to detach enough, because we're all somehow detached to what we want. That's why we want it, right? But you have to detach enough to actually get it. And detaching there's so many different ways, and actually Jenny is naturally really, really good at it. But I wrote down what I say to myself, because for me, it was a whole pattern. I say to myself, I'm doing this to be happy. I'm not doing this to get a result. I am doing this to be happy. So I'm actually having a whole conversation with me and my subconscious, right? And I go on and I say, I'm doing this to be happy. Results do not make me happy. I make myself happy. I create my own happiness, and I want results, but I don't need them. So you just genuinely really want to realize that you do not need the result to be happy. If you cannot be happy without getting the result, then you have attachment. So you just want to chip away, and it's detaching is not a one-time thing. It's chipping away at it the whole time, like a sculptor making a sculpture, it chips away a little bit at a time, or an onion that you're peeling. So you just have to go at it until you get the manifestation, just like resistance work, the same way. You chip at it until something shows up, right?
Babs, what do you think? What advice would you give to people in terms of detaching? Can you describe how it feels to you when you feel you've learned to detach from something you're anticipating in your life?
It almost feels like a weight being lifted from my chest area. Everyone carries their stress somewhere else, right? I carry mine in my chest. And it feels like the clenching gets weakened. I don't know. It feels like something was clenching my heart, and then the more I detach, the less clenching there is. And you start thinking, you stop thinking about the manifestation, not completely. In general, if you want it, you really want it, you still think about it, but it's more of a natural thought that comes up. It's like, oh yeah, that would be so cool. Oh, I really want that. Oh, I love when it's here. There's different thoughts you can have, and they're all natural. But in general, you think about it a lot less. You go from really, really wanting it to, it would be really cool if it showed up, but if not, man, my life is really good. That is the whole attitude, and that's a genuine attitude. You cannot force detaching. I have tried it. It doesn't work, because when you force it, you're going at it with looking to get a result. And as long as you're looking to get a result, that's still attachment. So you want to do it genuinely and naturally. And it takes time and practice, but it's not that hard. It's doable. It's actually fairly easy.
That's very encouraging. And words that you were saying, like when I was listening to you, just words that come to mind are words like organic, natural, flowing, lightness, like just the opposite of when you just feel so heavy and so weighed down by what you desire, replacing that with a feeling of lightness and ease. You and I have talked about detaching from timelines, and it can feel tricky because everything's in the present moment, everything is now. I think pretty much most spiritual people would agree with that. And so can you tell us how you feel about timelines in general? What are your thoughts about that?
So in general, I have noticed with myself and my clients, when you are thinking of a timeline, just worried about any sort of timeline, that's an indication of you being attached. The more you detach, the less you think about a timeline, because it doesn't matter anymore. It's almost like the ultimate living in the end when you detach, because you don't worry about it anymore. You actually let go. It doesn't mean that you don't want it anymore, but you actually let go. You let go of the timeline because it doesn't matter anymore, because practically, right, from a manifesting standpoint, you're already there. You already have it. Everything is already inside of you. You just kind of want to activate it so that it shows up on the outside. That's where resistance work and detaching and all of that comes in. So when you're detaching, the more you detach, the more you think about the present moment, which is a great word that you were using, because that's where we manifest. We only manifest in the present moment. There's no future and there's no past. So as long as you're in the future, you're attached. Therefore, you're worrying about a timeline. But since there's no future, maybe that'll help you to detach easier, because you can realize, okay, there's no future, there's no timeline. It's just the right now, my happiness right now, and my doing whatever I'm doing right now, mentally and physically on the outside world.
So it's about coming back to the present moment again and again. again.
Which is also self-love, because the more we think about the future, don't we get all anxious? If I think about the future too much, I get really anxious. I used to have really bad anxiety. And the more I think about the future, the more I get anxious because I don't know what's going to happen. So why not try to drop that? And that's all practice. You can practice that. So you can practice it and practice to be in the moment, which is happiness, right? Right now is happiness. Everything in the future, since it doesn't exist, can create attachment, anxiety, unhappiness, all of that.
Hmm. That's very good. That's a lot to chew on. And I think what I take from what you've said is remembering that joy, happiness, bliss is now. You know, the thing that sometimes people don't realize about manifesting is it's such a natural process. It's what we do all the time.
All the
There's
time.
nothing there's nothing in my 3D or Babs's 3D that has not been manifested by us for better or worse.
Yeah. No, it's all in automation. That's why we want to set these assumptions or stories or beliefs, whatever you call them. We set them, put them in place so that we don't have to constantly worry about them. And they're automatically creating our everyday life. So we don't have to constantly do it, because that would be exhausting.
Mm. Yes, it's like depending on the power of habit or just lifestyle or just sort of the way that I am versus
Yeah.
will.
Yep. Exactly.
Who has the energy? I don't. Those that follow me know I'm not a hard worker. I don't like to work a lot. I'm an indoor girl. I don't like the outdoors. Babs and I are like opposites attract in many ways in our
Except the working part. I don't like working hard or long.
She likes the outdoors. She can hike. She can keep up with the boys. That's definitely J-Lo. But I do. I feel as though I don't have the strength to have willpower, Babs.
You don't have to. That's not you. That's not you.
Yeah. So the idea of building a lifestyle, a habit, it's just the way you are. And the thing is, for my viewers to just remember is that you are manifesting everything anyway. So when you can get to what we'll talk about next with Babs, this is really her expertise, is core beliefs that can create a snowball of, I think, manifestations that you love and that you can keep, so that you don't feel like, you can manifest this amazing guy and you lose him a month later. What good is that? You really want to be able to hold on and grow and blossom your manifestations, which is what I'm working on. And the advice I've taken from Babs, it's been really, really pivotal for me. So go ahead and tell us, Babs, about just what you want to share about core beliefs.
They rule. In short, they changed my life completely. I mean, learning about deliberate manifesting a couple of years ago already changed my life. And then I learned about push outs, which changed my life even more. And then I learned about core beliefs after it ruined my life. Then we all know about this because we have all lost a person or a job or money or another manifestation that was really important, right? I have been there, and I love teaching everyone this because I have actually been through it. I'm not just teaching you something that I read from Neville or Bashar or from someone else. Everything I teach on my channel, I have actually been through. I have applied it. I have practiced it. So I would say I am in the right place and mind space to actually help you, because I remember what it feels like. It is not pretty to lose what you worked so hard for mentally or physically. So core beliefs are pretty much the core pillars of your subconscious. They are, I would say, probably at least 70% of what you manifest every single day. And core beliefs are beliefs such as I am worthy, I'm deserving, I'm good enough, right? So if you don't believe that you're worthy or deserving or good enough, then it's creating all of these crappy events around you all the time. Not every day, all day long, although I have clients that have had that. But there's different levels of it where it constantly gets pushed out, and you're thinking in your logic mind, man, I don't deserve this. Sorry, that was my mom. From Germany. Oops. I have it turned off and it still came through. Anyway, So it's your pillars. So when you have a house, right, you have a foundation. It's either a slab or crawl space or a basement. If you don't know any of these words because you're a foreigner, please look them up. I'm a foreigner. I had to learn all of these words as well. But it's your foundation of the house, right? And then you're building that house, which is everything else and the beliefs every day in your life. And something needs to carry that. And your core beliefs carry all of your manifesting, the major stuff. When I changed my core beliefs, I pretty much quadrupled how much I made in 1 year. And I didn't have to change anything in my manifesting style. It was just the core beliefs that did that. That's it. They changed everything.
Yes.
And they're very general. So they're not just, you don't have to say, I'm good enough to get this job. I'm good enough to get this person. You just say, I'm good enough. I'm worthy. And it addresses everything in your life. And it constantly manifests these things because it's that main automation in your subconscious that creates it, right?
Right. It's like the way I interpret it, Babs, is it trumps everything else. Like,
I don't know
so
that we
for
can ever use that word again.
for if I said I want to manifest $100,000, I actually am a pretty darn good manifester. I think I could probably do it in a reasonable time. However, if I have the core belief that I'm not worthy of being financially successful, of having abundance in my life, I may be able to get that $100,000, but so quickly it will slip through my fingers and I will lose the manifestation. So, Babs, would you say that core beliefs, you mentioned it's kind of like the foundation of a house?
Yeah.
You know, I sort of interpret it like maybe it's kind of like the rudder of the boat. If a person is a master manifester, and maybe they have just their core beliefs are pretty good, but they have one core belief, like I'm not good enough, that's just not working for them. What do you recommend they do?
Turn it around. So whatever stories that come up for you, you just take the straight up opposite. I am good enough. You are good enough. You're more than good enough. So it's pretty much a pep talk until it changes. And they take a little bit to change. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a couple of weeks. And then after that, you have to go through the old energy because the core beliefs are so old. They've been with you since you were a little child. I don't know if you were born with them or not, but they've been there since you were a tiny little baby child. So they take a little bit to turn around. It takes a little bit of time, but they're easy to turn around if you're willing to do it. And you just say the opposite. If you don't think you're deserving, you say, I am deserving. If you don't think you're good enough, you just keep saying to yourself, I am good enough. And you do it whenever you get triggered by external events or by your thoughts, having negative thoughts. You just say, nope, I am good enough. Nope, I am good enough. I'm more than enough.
Just to refresh, I think I have these right. Babs has taught me, guys, about a handful of core beliefs, and and I've been actually practicing them ever since she and I met, through affirmations, essentially, just exactly what she said, sort of just hit it directly the opposite way. And so the core beliefs she gave me to process and work through were, I am loved, I am worthy, I am good enough, or I am more than good enough. I am validated. I am independent.
And I'm deserving.
Ooh, and I'm deserving. And I think there's a real commonsensical understanding behind an affirmation such as I'm worthy or I'm deserving. But Babs, I think it would be really helpful for people to hear a little deeper into the core beliefs of I am validated and into the core belief of I am independent, your interpretation and how you worked that through.
So I changed them for myself because I used to have codependency, and it seems to be very common that clients that come to me with their core belief issues that they have codependency, although they will, almost all of them will argue with me, no, I'm a really independent person. Like, yeah, codependency is emotional, not an independent, like you're an independent woman. And this is very common with women too. I've always been very independent. I always went for what I wanted, no matter what. And I've always been independent, but codependency was still there. But it was that emotional need of getting validated. I needed validation from others. I needed things, and I couldn't, I did things. It's codependency is pretty much manipulating others into getting a reaction that you like. So you're getting approval, right? Which isn't something you're doing because you're mean or evil or you have bad intentions. It's to satisfy your own need of feeling better. But codependency can be changed because it's just a pattern. And I didn't even know that before I addressed it. So saying I'm validated and I'm independent, that got me out of my codependency real quick. And it feels really good to not need the validation anymore. I can tell you that. So because you're giving this to yourself. So the reason why you change these core beliefs is because right now you're looking on the external world for someone to show you that you're loved, someone to show you that you're worthy, or someone to show you that you are appreciated and validated, right? But unless it's inside of you, meaning you can give it to yourself by saying and realizing that you are worthy and you are independent and validated, it will not reflect on the outside. No one can reflect it to you properly without having it inside of you. And I know that throughout my life, I didn't have just bad experience. I had a lot of really good experiences. So it's like a mix of good and bad, right? But over time, they seem to get worse and worse, and things get more intense, and you lose more manifestations, and you will feel crappier when you do. So it's not that it's all bad all the time. It just is there, and it could get worse over time. So you want to change these when you can.
And you mentioned, that core beliefs create patterns.
They are patterns.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did say that. Okay. So core beliefs, a belief is a pattern, right? And sometimes we have proper affirmations for them and sometimes we don't, such as what I said earlier about detaching. That was also a core pattern for me, but there was no affirmation such as I am whatever to fix it. I just had to start having conversations with myself and realize that it's not true. So core beliefs are patterns, but yes, we create a whole nother set of patterns with them and a lot of side beliefs with these core beliefs, such as I grew up in Germany and I always thought Germans are very unforgiving people. And it felt horrible. They always made me feel horrible, but I had that belief in place because I had those core beliefs that I wasn't worthy. Therefore, everyone treated me that way. When I changed the core beliefs, people were way more forgiving. So that was interesting to watch how that happened. And then patterns, such as with codependency, there are all these patterns, such as you do not know how to properly process emotions is very common, or how to read emotions in yourself. And this is about you, not others. So when you're changing, I am independent and I am validated, you will have to actually learn how to listen to you. That's why my channel is called Listen to Your Inner You, because you have to start listening to what you're saying to yourself, right? Every day. Like, well, I'm upset. What am I upset about? I had to learn how to read my emotions and then process them. I did not know how to properly process emotions. And then I had to learn every emotion. I mean, we have hundreds, so not maybe every, but the main ones like fear and anger is always a secondary emotion that comes from something else. So frustration, fear, happiness, because happiness can be exhausting if it's more of the superficial kind. Because then I used to get these up and downs. I used to get really happy. And then I knew, oh my God, you know what? I'm going to crash the next day because I'm way too happy today. That was part of the core beliefs because I didn't think I was worthy of just being happy all the time. So I was super happy one day. And then the next one, like, oh my God, I'm feeling horrible. And I need 2 days to recover from that. Right. So you create all these patterns and side beliefs from these core beliefs. Just your mind is kind of trying to cope with it somehow.
One of the things, Babs, that you said in a video, one of your more recent videos, was that you were going through a time of struggle of just feeling really angry. And you were wondering, oh my gosh, the world just seems so angry. And you realized you were feeling angry. And you said in the video, you're like, listen, you guys, feel your anger, feel your emotions. And basically you were saying, like, forgive yourself or love yourself through it or accept yourself, accept it. I can't quite exactly remember what you said, but something like that. And that was Honestly, Babs, there's so much you've shared that has been very helpful for me, but that was a huge one because as much of a sweetheart as I am, I have had an anger like okay, and like I have had such a bad temper, and it's very rare. It might fly, you know, once or twice a year, very rare. But it is so bad that I have lost friendships that were like decades long.
Mm.
And um, to kind of go into how everyone is you pushed out, which you addressed in this video when you were talking about this. You said, listen, guys, when you forgive yourself, accept yourself, embrace the anger you have, validate yourself, you will push that out into your 3D world. Eventually, that will catch up with your reality where the people that love you will let it go. They'll forgive you. They'll understand that you are a human being with many different emotions. And that was very helpful for me because I have people in my life that I love with my whole heart that I've had a distance from for years over just one bad fight or one bad temper tantrum. And I realized through that video, it was me pushing myself out, that I had not forgiven myself. I was so disgusted with my anger because, you know, it just doesn't feel like the goddess that I feel that I am. And I was very disgusted with my own anger and I couldn't forgive myself. And I would hold it in my heart and I pushed that out into my 3D. And I have a person in my life that I love dearly that hasn't spoken to me, you know, for the most part in years because of one very small, not very big deal argument. That's how badly I've treated myself when it comes to holding myself to these ridiculously inhuman expectations. So Babs, I really want to thank you for talking about that because you know, you're one of the YouTubers that actually does talk about not only what you've experienced in a very vulnerable and very relatable way, but what you're going through as well now. It was just pivotal. I mean, maybe you could just add to that, you know, the concept of everyone is you pushed out a little bit so that people can still kind of grasp that even deeper.
Oh boy, that's a big subject. Everyone is you pushed out means whatever I think someone else thinks it. If I think about you and I'm thinking, man, I should really text Jenny Lynn, I should really text her, and then I don't text you, most likely you will end up texting me because you were thinking about me at the same time. Or delay time. It's usually within 24 hours. I've been testing it for the last couple of years and it's been really fun. Sometimes annoying because sometimes negative thoughts push out, but I don't take them personally anymore. That's also something that the core beliefs fixed, is where I don't take things personally anymore. I can just go, yeah, that was it. That changed a lot. And as to the forgiving part, yes, when you don't forgive yourself, others don't forgive you either. So you always want to make it about you. Pushed outs are always about you. Everything pushes out that you are, everything you are on the inside with your subconscious programming pushes out into the reality. That's all it means with the pushed outs. But it also applies to thoughts, actions, and all of that. So it can be very literal and it can be very not literal. For example, I've had it with my codependency. When I had codependency, I don't actually have any addictions, but an addiction in general, if you look at it, and I'm not a therapist, so don't take everything literal. This is from my personal experience. But with my codependency, since it's a habit, it's a pattern, like often alcoholism is, right? I attracted a lot of men into my life that had alcohol issues, and I didn't know why until I realized it was my codependency pushing that out. It was just a different habit or pattern that was being pushed out. So it's not always literal. Just because I'm codependent doesn't mean I always attract only codependent people. They could have a different pattern that pushes out. So pushed outs are a very broad subject.
That was very helpful, though. I think I've just started talking about everyone as you pushed out on my channel just recently. So I hope that for my viewers, that kind of just opens up the door a little bit more, guys, what Babs has just explained. But it allows you to take full ownership and responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
For everything. It's very
And
empowering.
it is. And when you start this journey, there might be a time where you go through beating yourself up, and that's okay too. Just accept that you beat yourself up. I used to beat myself up for beating myself up. I was
Right.
very good at it. I still sometimes beat myself up, and nowadays it's a lot more gentle, such as, I wish I had done that back then. I'm like, oh shoot, I just beat myself up and I didn't mean to. But when I changed my core beliefs, it was also a lot easier to forgive myself, because you know what you mentioned, the friendships that you lost over one argument. First of all, that one argument that caused losing the friendship, that shows me that you have weak core beliefs that you want to change, because clearly you don't feel like you're good enough to keep that friendship after one argument, right? And then second of all, you're not forgiving yourself. So start realizing that you want to forgive, or start accepting that you don't want to forgive yourself or others, because forgiveness is actually a choice. It's not an ability. You are always able of doing whatever you want. So think of forgiveness as a choice, and don't say, I can't forgive myself. Yes, you can. You don't want to. So accept that you don't want to and move on from there.
Mm, beautiful. That's very good. Um, Babs, let's talk a little bit about moolah, money.
Moolah.
Um, Everyone on my channel knows that I'm a fan of the concept of abundance and creating more and more abundance through avenues that bring you bliss and through avenues that bring you joy. But abundance and creating a financial lifestyle that you're proud of and that you love and you're happy with goes hand in hand with manifesting. And I've heard amazing stories of, and you know what? I've had amazing experiences myself of just money out of thin air. So I guess, can you tell us, Babs, a little bit about your thoughts on money, wealth, abundance, living comfortably, etc.?
So money in general is just another vibration, just like snow or you or my computer. They're all just vibration, right? They're all energy. Money is not any more difficult in the sense of it's not a higher level vibration. The only reason why we tend to have money is core beliefs that are not right. If you're not feeling worthy of earning a lot of money or deserving money, then you won't get it. And the other thing is, we tend to have a lot of resistance around money because we think we need it. So I had to learn that money isn't needed. Money is probably 99% of the time, it's a how to a manifestation. So you want to let go of the how, which is let go of the money, and realize what you want. You want to concentrate on what you want. Say, I want that house. But then you get hung up, but I need the money. Where am I going to get the money from? Et cetera, et cetera. So you start spiraling down that road. I'm like, I'm never going to make that money. House prices are so expensive in Colorado and New York and California. I can never make that. Well, stop all of that. Turn them around if you need to, and concentrate on what you want. You want that house. Make it specific about what you want, right? And then go from there. But when you do want money, why do you want that money? What do you want to make 100,000? I used to be really hung up on wanting to make $70,000 until my coach said, why do you want to make $70,000? Why that specific number? And then I said to her, well, I want to pay for my horse. I want to pay for all my bills. I want to pay for fun things. And she said, okay, those are all separate manifestations. So keep them separate and just concentrate on what you want. And if the money is needed to get that manifestation, then it will come, right? But you don't always need money. I got a brand new roof and exterior paint for free. And yes, it was an insurance claim, but insurance claims are usually not for free. I got that for free. Last year, I didn't have to pay a dime for my HOA fees. I don't know how I did that other than by confirming my money confirmations or affirmations. But I didn't have to pay almost $1,000 just towards that. And you want to be appreciative. So you want to integrate. Gratitude is huge. I am a huge supporter of gratitude. I have probably 5 videos about it at this point. And gratitude is important because the more you appreciate what you have, the more you will get of it, right? So if you find a penny on the ground, you don't have to pick it up, but be appreciative of that penny because it's money. It's the literal manifestation of money. It might just be a penny, but it's a penny closer to what you want, right? So money is huge because we have so many hangups around it, so many limiting beliefs. And it's usually just a how.
Brilliant. Boy, am I glad I manifested you, Dad.
I love that you came into my life.
We decided we manifested each other.
Oh yeah, obviously.
You know, we were filling whatever, some sort of amazing cup that had to be filled. Okay, so just to touch on that a little bit, because it's so true that money is often the how. It's not really, if you dig deeper, oftentimes it isn't really what you care about.
No, that's why people want to manifest winning in the lottery, because they think that money will solve all their problems.
Right. You think that money is the only way to your vacation in Tahiti. Well, the truth is there are infinite ways that one could get to Tahiti, having their coladas on the water. Okay.
Yes.
And sometimes it's a gift. Sometimes it's a rich boyfriend. Sometimes it's a strange contest win.
Or it could be a lottery win that just comes to you in your email, and you just have this urge to click on it and participate, and boom, you win it. It happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that is very helpful, especially I have a lot of like 20s, and 30 somethings that follow my channel, and they're trying to build and build as I am myself. And it's important to remember to focus on what it is you truly want. And maybe that's a house, or maybe that's, a Ferrari. I don't know. And I don't really care. But the point is, what do you want? And focus there in your manifestations. And often if money is the how to get there, it will appear.
Correct. But you don't control the how.
Yes.
Let go of the how and the when. So we talked about timelines, and we talked about the how. Drop both. It is so much more relaxing because it's less things to worry about. If the only thing you need to worry about is what you want, isn't that the easier part? I mean, yeah, you want to do the resistance work and detaching and all of that. But just if your only job from the universe, which you are the universe, if that's your only job is to concentrate on the what, then heck yes, I will take it up on that any day. If I can drop the how and when, less work for me.
Right. Less work. And we're all about less work.
Yes. Being more efficient.
Yes. Just let the universe work its magic, girls.
Trust, faith, believe, name it,
I was teasing one of my clients. She's like, well, my family supports me, and I have my unemployment checks and and this free, this discounted rent, and I'm so broke. I go, honey, you got abundance flowing to you from every which direction. I don't care if it's government money. I don't care if it's your grandparents or your aunt, and I don't care who gave you that discounted amazing space that you live in. It's abundance arriving in your life. Don't try to justify it or judge it. Like, you could be a gorgeous woman and your boyfriend wants to pay all of your bills from month one. You don't need to justify it or moralize it. Just understand that abundance is coming to you in many ways. It's so funny, Babs, because I was thinking over the past 10 years, and I'm like, all but maybe a year or so, I haven't worked a day in 10 years. I sing, I have clients that, I do chat sessions and I teach voice lessons. I have things I do, but it's all play. It's all fun. I essentially haven't worked like almost my whole life, but for 10 years. And somehow, some way, it just always comes, those helping hands.
Yeah, it always works out.
It always somehow works out. I'm trying to take it to the next level though, girl. I'm trying to like fully up level, fully up league. Like I want more luxury. I want more fabulousness in my life. So that's what I'm manifesting right now. No apologies. Give it to me anyway, universe. I don't. Okay. So Babs, tell us a little bit more. I'm almost there, guys. This is so fabulous. I know it's going a little longer than we thought, but I'm almost there. Tell me what a nice, joyful day would be for you right now. It might be really simple, by the way, too, but just a joyful, blissful day for you.
Getting enough sleep. Just start out with. Having a good night's sleep, maybe even have a good dream or two. I don't need to, but sleep is very important to me since I've had so many issues with it. But starting out my day doing what I want, which is what I've been doing for a long time. I do whatever I want, and my bills are still taken care of at all times. This whole time, even with the crappy core beliefs, I didn't make a lot of money, but for some reason, my bills were always taken care of. So just knowing that I will be okay no matter what, and figuring out every single morning what I need to do that day to make myself happy, that is a good day, even if it means having a crappy day. Even if I woke up today and I wasn't in a good mood because something is bugging me and I'm angry or upset and I'm crying all day, but I know I will make it through. That is a good day to me, no matter what. Making the best out of it, no matter what.
Yes, being just in what makes you happy that day. Okay, and then I guess my last question is, okay, so for those of you that are YouTubers or have a social media account that's, pretty active, it takes facing a ton of fears, and you have to look at yourself in a way that's very unique, and you have to be ready. You have to feel ready, for the love, for the attention, for all the beautiful comments, and just everything that's coming your way. And so Babs and I have talked a little bit about, there's been time periods that we wanted to start things, but we just didn't at the time feel totally ready for it. And so I'd love to know, Babs, what do you feel so ready for? What are you feeling ready for these days?
Facing my fears. I have so many fears. I am just like everyone else. I may not look like I have fears, but I'm always full of fears all the time. But the more fears I have around a subject, the more it tells me that I should go for it. So I just go for it. I just face my fears. Sometimes it's harder than other times, but I just go for it and go through it. And sometimes Jenny Lynn asked me if I was ever afraid of oversharing on my channel all the time. Like, did I say something that's going to offend someone? Did I say something that could be misinterpreted? Did I say something that shares too much about my personal life? And then I think about it, I'm like, nope, this is me. I want to be me. I want to be me for you guys, because that is something that everyone around me loves, is that I'm genuine and honest. And facing my fears and just pushing through them helps with that.
I feel that, like, meeting YouTubers, and sometimes, guys, it costs an arm and a leg. It can cost $100, $200, $300 to talk to your favorite YouTubers, but it is worth it, because to sit down and talk to a person who is putting themselves out there, facing their fears, like just walking right towards them, it gives you, for lack of a better term, a supernatural strength and power within, a godlike strength and power within. So, Babs, this has been fabulous. Can you please tell my viewers just where they can get a hold of you, where they can contact you for one-on-one coaching, guys? I highly recommend it. For anything manifesting, but just anything you may be dealing with related to core beliefs. If you feel like you're losing your manifestations, where did this 10 go? I attracted him. Where is he now?
Yeah.
Babs is your girl. She's really, really wonderful with that kind of thing. But just go ahead and tell them, Babs, where they can find you and connect with you.
Yeah, I'd love to. I have a website. It is listentoyourinneryou.com. You can book sessions right on the website. My channel is also Listen to Your Inner You, and I have a Facebook page that is Listen to Your Inner You, and they all have the same little emblem on the URL bar with their golden aspen leaves, if you can't tell. But I tried to make it easier that way on Facebook, because a lot of people couldn't find my group. So if you find that little golden aspen leaves picture on Facebook under Listen to Your Inner You, that's my group, and my channel on YouTube has the same logo on it.
Perfect. All right, guys. So we're going to go to part 2 now for Babs's channel, where she's going to pick my brain and add some more of her own insights. We'll see you over there.
Bye, guys.
Bye.